Okay. I guess this would be an episode. This is learning to develop from the start, from the beginning, and I'm going to be covering it as if you know nothing. So, uh, be patient and ask questions in comments or email. If you have my email, comments will be better. So, anybody else who happens onto these videos can have those answered, and I can answer them in the next video. So this is I guess episode 1, and this is we're gonna work our way up to configuring a development desktop or development environment. And the first thing we need to do is install some sort of IDE. And what we're going to do is install Aptena. As you see, I'm on Ubuntu Linux. This is regardless of if you're using Linux, Windows, or Mac. At some point, we'll go into making a a server of some sort, or like this machine is set up where it's a local server, which I'll explain that in another episode. But let's just go ahead and get started. If you don't have Google Chrome, go ahead and download Google Chrome. That is a good tool to use. You might be a fan of Firefox or whatever. Just get Google Chrome. It's a good tool, and we're going to be using it a lot during the these videos. And the reason is if you hold Control Shift and press J, you get a nice set of tools to inspect different elements and see what's going on. Like if I inspect this element, I can see all of the information about it, the size, metrics, properties. It's a lot of stuff that it's built in, no plugins required. It's just part of Chrome. And as you see, as I hover over elements, it shows me a lot of stuff about where it is and what it is. So go ahead and get Google Chrome. We're going to be using that. That's part of our toolbox. And I want you to go to aptena.org, and you want to download the Studio 3. All right, so for the Windows and Mac users, I believe an installer will happen, once you download. But the for Linux users, which is this is one specific Linux user that works in my office, if you click and it'll say, let me go ahead and close this here. It'll say, standalone version. That's what you want to get, and you want to just go ahead and tell it to download. And once it's downloaded, you're going to open it. It'll automatically open, but you should get, this extraction window. Just take it and drag it to your desktop where you see I've already done, but just click and drag from there, and it's not installing it, but it will run. We'll get into actually installing that later. So once you get it installed, you're on Mac, on Mac or Windows, Linux users. That's all you have to do. Once it's downloaded, then go ahead and fire it up, and once it's fired up, you'll get this workspace dialog. And what you just do is just go ahead and tell it to use the default, like mine is Home Jamal Aptena Studio Workspace. I'm going to tell it to use it as the default and hit OK. I'll go ahead and close this window. And now we are in Aptena, and we'll be ready to work. So that's our first step of getting getting started. And what I encourage you to do is explore the interface. So what you see is we have create project, import project, and stuff. I'm going to go over all of these, but these little tabs, shows your file system, and shows where everything is. Don't worry if you're confused at this point. It can be a little confusing once you start, because there's perspectives, debugging, show view. These are going to be of some importance. But let's do one thing though. What you want to do is you want to go to install new software, and Let's see, what we want to do is available software sites, and we want to do the Eclipse Helios or whatever update site, and hit OK. And then what you want to do is we want to try to find the PDT. So hopefully we can search for it. If I can type this morning, PDT. Want to see here. Let's go here. And hold on 1 second. Okay. Once you've canceled, hold on. Let's see here. Once you've been into the available software sites and you hit OK, what you can do is type Eclipse, start typing Eclipse, and just go ahead and do the Helios update site or whatever that thing is, and hopefully it should populate this field with available software. So let's wait. I'm gonna pause for a second. Okay. What you do is once you either I tried the Eclipse update site, that didn't work for me, but in there was this download update releases, so I hit that, and then I got all these options. If you go to filter and type PDT, which is what we're looking for, the PHP Development Tools SDK, so just go ahead and check that little box there, and it should be the same. But if you're paranoid, just go ahead and check all three, choose next. And what this is doing is this is just downloading some PHP tools, because we will do a little PHP, but when it gets real intense, we will have a local host server running, which I'll explain what that is later. Uh, but this is just to do a little bit in the beginning. I don't want to get too intense since this is going to start from beginning, and this is episode 1. So let me go ahead and pause this and just go ahead and let that churn a little bit, and then once it comes back, I'll show you the next dialog box. I'll unpause. Alright, and then after a little bit, you'll see this little dialog box just telling you what's going to install. Just hit next, accept the terms and agreements, read them. It's a lot to read, but read them, and just click install, and I'll pause while this is installing. Okay, now after it's all installed, you'll get this restart now, and it's just going to restart the Eclipse, or not Eclipse, but Aptana, and just go ahead and hit a restart. Don't mind my squiddy face guy. And once that's done, we have successfully set up a IDE for developing. So that's it for this video. I'm going to make another video that you can watch right after this, and I'm just going to go through making a basic, just a basic page. So, but yeah, this is episode 1, and I will have episode 2 up shortly.